Hey guys, what's up? Got a 15-10 going on. I'm doing this one on Lichess. I've just been away camping for a couple of nights, so don't know whether I'm sharp or not, but I'm going to play a Scotch here. So on Lichess I'm 18-18 currently. Okay. Now this is a little bit on the timid side because he's already shutting off his bishop. I'm very tempted to play d5. It's kind of overextending, but it locks off this pawn, which locks off that bishop. Even if he fianchettos that bishop, it hasn't got a future. I think d5 with tempo is just too tempting. Okay, the knight's come back. Probably find its way there. We're going to find a very solid structure here. I'm going to develop my knight with ideas already about castling long and using pawns to break things up on that side now. Don't think I want to change my pawn structure yet. There's no real reason. Where does this bishop want to go? So one critical thing in the opening that I'm trying to incorporate more is this idea of where is this bishop going to be best placed, and to move it there in one move rather than do a very short-term idea like breaking this pin. But I don't think the bishop really wants to go there. Certainly doesn't want to go here, doesn't really want to go behind these pawns, so I do think it actually has scope on this diagonal, so that's where I'm going to put it. Then I may develop my other bishop, could come here, g5, maybe lift my queen. Okay, this is attacking this, it's defended once, it's not a problem. I could now kick the bish. Bish goes back here, g4 back here. And that bishop is also depriving that knight, so I think that's worth doing. And if takes, I've got a couple of options. Okay, g4. All right. Now, again, if I push Harry to h4, then he's going to be forced to push this pawn and drop the bishop back into the corner. Is there anything gained by that for me? That's the question. Do I want to drop my bishop here, threaten this knight? That looks pretty good. Or does my bishop want to end up there? I don't know yet. Which is best? I don't think I'm castling short anymore. Not with these pawns off the mark. So I'm thinking I'd like to move the bishop there or there. I think black's going to go short. So I'm going to come here with a serious threat against this knight. If I take this knight, the only way to recapture is g takes. But maybe I don't want to do that too early. Oh, I missed that. Okay. Okay. And now this, that's a pain. Look, I totally missed the fact. Simple thing. He's got two attackers there, one defender, and I've just dropped Eddie. Okay. All right, now. And is this even a thought? Develop the queen. Then if I castle though, he's targeting this. If I take, bishop takes, he's looking at that. That knight's pinned against the rook. Bishop here. Then I'm attacking the knight twice. He can't move with check. Wrong pattern. That was just the simplest tactical error there. Okay, now I have to fall. Yeah, good job I'm playing on Lichess. Playing in my soft play area. Okay, he's traded off now. Because he's up a pawn. But look at the state of my pawns. Look what he's done to my pawns. I thought I was doing so well. I think e3 is the place for that bishop to go. Look at his structure. All 8 pawns in a lovely tiny little V. See, just one loose move in the opening can make all that difference. I'm going to come here, I'm going to just poke around the a7 pawn. Got to be wary of this with my queen and my knight in that structure. I think I might have to end up castling short after all as well. But in my favour, I have this advanced pawn. It's defended only by the queen. Right, looks... I'm not sure if he's going to castle long. Really not sure if he is. Could reinforce this. I could go short myself. I could even keep the king in the middle of the board. Like king e2 is not a terrible idea. Mobilising my rooks. I'm going to put his queen here. I'm going to castle. I think I definitely want one rook on the b file. Maybe one on the e file, seeing as that's semi-open. So a drink of water. I'm trying to gather my thoughts. Okay, he's gone. Now, this pawn does hang. However, it falls to c6 trap. So, slightly surprised at that. Stopping my queen coming here. I definitely want a rook here. I think the a pawn as well is probably a good sacrificial lamb as well. c4, c5. Looks like it makes sense. I'm a little bit surprised at that long castles. So my opponent's 1788, which is chess.com terms like 1500, 1450, 1500, something like that. Okay, I'm just going to play rook fb1. I still can't put my queen here. He will just trade off. Now he's only a pawn up, but the big difference. Oh, what? Take, queen takes. If he takes me, I want to do this. Yes, I do. I'm going to do that, and then I can slide my queen over to b3, and that comes with a bit of a threat. I think I have to take, do I not? He doesn't want lines opening up around his king. Why is he pushing pawns in front of his king? You know, his big benefit, apart from being a pawn up in material, was this really, really solid pawn structure that he had. And now he hasn't. Okay, c4 is a thought. Queen here is the thought, forcing this queen to stay and remain and defend b7. He might play rook c7 to defend it as well. So this is going to be a case of what can I throw at my opponent. I'm really tempted to play a5, a6 at the right time. I could even think about doubling my rooks on the b file, and that is not a bad idea either. I may want to put my queen there, so I probably shouldn't move my rook to there. But how about rook b2 now? Rook b2 still defends this pawn. This bishop is useful. I could push the pawn once, maybe, just to take away any ideas of this. Looks alright. So I don't think this is a hopeless situation. It feels uncomfortable. So another question is what to do with that. Okay, well that just drops a pawn. I can literally take that pawn here. Because this pawn here is pinned, right? Cannot recapture. So I can literally take here, and I'm threatening queen a7, surely. My opponent's username is IDK who won. Well, that was a blunder. Now this, king c7's forced. Can't play queen to here. Could play bishop to there. Oh no. Oh yeah. Hang on. Here, king goes here. It's blocking the queen's defense of that. I just take, yeah? Surely. Then king d8. Then I take the knight. I'm defended by the rook. Yeah, all good. That's forced. I get the knight. We've even got this. but that means that actually gives him an opportunity to capture with the knight, and then Andy can romp home. There's nothing wrong with this, is there? This, then I can play bishop b6, check. He's not going to block, he's going to have to move here or here. And he's resigned. Wow. Wow. I think my mistake was obvious there. Now, we haven't got the game review feature on Lichess, so let's just go through it quickly. I'm just kind of learning my way back into the Scotch, easing my way back in. D6 felt very conservative. So, tell you what I'm going to do. I'll go analysis board. We'll check out Lichess's, and I'm not very familiar with this. So do we have, okay, we've got Stockfish, so we've got an eval and we've got lines, okay. And it's saying D5 is +1. That's the move I play. Very happy with this. So knight goes to E7, which is the move played. And now C4. Now it's saying strike out for the center. What do I play? I play knight C3. And this is something to remember. Pushing the pawn and then slipping the knight behind the pawn, right? So usually F or C pawns. C4 would have been good. It doesn't list knight C3 in the top 5 moves. It doesn't really approve of that at all. It's too slow. Solid but slow. C4, yeah, okay. My opponent now wants to CA6. Bishop here, meh. Bishop B5 check. Bishop B5 check. C-pawn blocks. This would be a waste of time to drop the bishop back. So bishop here, check. Blocks. Now it's saying DC, knight C. Takes, pinning the knight. And then castles. That's not a bad situation, actually. Yeah. So I definitely liked this idea here, but you know, I didn't see that. But yeah, this idea of C pawn first, really take advantage and jam this like spearhead straight into black's half of the board, and that's really going to shut him down. So I played this. Okay, it's quite happy now. Saying knight D2 now. Knight D2 and trade off the bishops. Okay, I play this, still put +0.6. Bishop drops back, +2. So that actually counts as a mistake. And now the machine says queen D3. It says develop the queen, giving options of recapturing here. Quite like that. I play pawn up, right? Just pressing the bishop. But we know the bishop's got this move. So bishop G6 is played. Again, knight D2. Now it's saying queen D3 again. I play this, that's a mistake. I didn't like it. Inaccuracy at least. Bishop out here. Oh yeah, and the reason is because of this. After the bishop moved there, it's simply counting attackers and defenders. I mean, this, guys, this is something that we need to do very consciously until it becomes unconscious, until you do it just automatically. Okay, bishop's moved there, what's changed? Well, the bishop's looking at that pawn. What else is looking at the pawn? Okay, that's 2 attackers. How many defenders have I got? Ooh, I've only got 1. Maybe what I should do here is play queen d3, right? Not bloody rocket science. Anyway, I do that, and I drop a pawn. And apparently that was a blunder. Why? If I spot the... Okay, what? Bishop b5 check c6. DC, BC, bishop takes, knight. Let's look at this. Let's look at this line. It wants me to play this. And I'm winning. I am just hands down winning. How is this so? Well, let's look. C6, it says. DC, BC. Right. Bishop takes. Sacking the bishop. Knight. Oh! Oh! Exploiting the pin on this knight. Look, let me go back. Let me see this. Right, the knight has control over this square. So the question I need to ask myself now is this a sequence, a tactical sequence of moves that I should be able to see? Right? If it's outside of my regular field of vision, is this something that I should be learning? So let's figure this out. Okay, from this position, the key point is this knight here is pinned. Right, he's pinned. He's got control on this square. After bishop here, there's only the king has literally nowhere to go. It's either queen blocks or knight takes. Right, queen d7 loses. Knight takes, pretty much loses as well. Right, all good. So what is that? What is the pattern from here? Interesting. So this is a best move for white scenario. And this move, this pawn captures, was a blunder. You see how I just went immediately, oh, I've lost the pawn. Right, and then I go into like tortoise mode and think, how can I just like save this? But wow. And guys, seriously, if you're not analysing your games, analyse your bloody games. Because you can, the computer doesn't even think, can't even think, and it can teach you amazing lessons. You don't need a tutor to reveal these things, because Stockfish will do it. Right? A few kilobytes of code will do it. Wow. Okay, so I'm not going to rush. This is my chess lesson for today. For some of you, this will be your chess lesson for today. Some of you may have seen this tactic. Okay, so let's figure it out. This knight here is pinned. Bishop here, check. The king has nowhere to go. What can stop the check? This pawn? Well, I've already got Super Dave. Super Advanced Dave takes takey, takey, takey. This knight is in the way of the queen. Wow, wow, trousers. Now, would I see that again? Is the question. Check, right? You have to tell the story of the board. You have to just state the facts of what do you see on the board. I've got this bishop out here. The knight is pinned. However, this knight could take out my bishop, but he hasn't got time. If I give check, there's only two ways of stopping it. Knight here, you lose your queen. Okay? Well, queen blocks, you lose your queen. Pawn here, takes, takes, takes. Same problem. Let's go back again. It's the fact that the king's in check and something must block it. This knight can't do it without the queen falling. Okay, it's a case of putting lots of pressure on c6. And there you go, you win the queen. One way or another, she's going down. Well, the answer is, guys, I don't know. I honestly don't know if I would have spotted that out of the gate. I think that, to me, is a brilliant move. And how can I learn this pattern? What is it about this pattern? It's that I have good control over this. I have my opponent in check, ultimate forcing move. Knight is pinned, very important. Check. Blocks. I take this. Now still he hasn't got, like, let's say he takes that. I mean, that's just he's dead, 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 lost. I take the pawn, attacking the rook. The only two playable moves are knight here or queen here. If knight here, bishop takes, check again. Sorry, mate. Then king e7. And it's actually forced mate in 8 at this point. Wow, with knight in. You see? Got all these amazing things that are there to be found. Right, king goes here. Knight takes, knight check. Queen takes. And it's like, game over. So from that point in the game, just a few moves in, right, when my tail drops and, you know, I go, oh no, I've here, then I do this, he does that, look at the eval bar, wow, right, there are lessons to be found in the humblest of situations, and sometimes, you know, a situation where you think, oh, this is bleak, this is not looking good for me. Well, there was an incredible resource there to be found. If I can learn to spot that pattern, or learn to look for patterns like that, even in, you know, even in dark places when there are no lights. Interesting stuff, and I think I know what my thumbnail's going to be. All right, everyone, hope that's been interesting for you. Certainly was for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.